Good evening, student. Welcome today's class that is about the current affair. So my name is Praveen Chauve and I am here to teach you today about the current affair. Student, you know very well one important fact about the current affair. That is, this current affair is important for both prelims and mains examination. Okay. Now the question is, strategy for study of current affair for prelims and mains both have different. For prelims you have to know about the factuals things, means that much not important factuals. Some factuals like you will know about the conference of UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, some important conference like International Atomic Energy Agency. These are some international organization where important conference a date you should remember for prelims point of view. And for mains you have to understand the concept, you have to understand the case. Okay, what is the case is all about, like Jadhav case. Okay, today is the Jadhav case. What is about the Jadhav case? Means you have to write about Vienna Convention. So these are the some important things that is important for your mains point of view. Vienna Convention question will not come in prelims examination. Basically this is the about the mains examination. So today's session is all about current affair and I will going to cover from 1st July to 19th July. Okay, from 1st July to 19th July. And today's session is all about prelims oriented. Remember this point, prelims oriented. So I hope you all have downloaded this PDF file from aspiration.ai. aspiration.ai से आप ये PDF डाउनलोड कर सकते हो, ठीक है. और इस PDF में बेसिकली देयर आर 20 pages and 20 pages include both international and national news. So as I told you, this is a prelims oriented, so most of the news you have to remember for prelims point of view. And mains perspective, for mains perspective, next Saturday class I will cover a current affair that is solely for a mains perspective. Now basic idea is here कि I want to give you some information regarding कि how to read current affair for prelims point of view and how to read for a mains point of view. So today's session is all about prelims oriented, because all you know, preparing for next year prelims exam, that is 31st May 2020 को आपको prelims exam होने वाला है. So this session is all about prelims oriented. Now we are going to discuss the first important news, international news. Okay, so first international news, Iran breaches uranium enrichment cap. This is the first important international news for prelims point of view, and this news is again important for mains point of view also. If Iran breaches uranium enrichment cap, then what is the reason behind this? Now the question here, everybody is seeing the first headline of the news, that is called Iran breaches uranium enrichment cap. Now you see the uranium enrichment cap is one word is there. Okay, now this, what is this uranium enrichment? This is the important question for prelims point of view. In prelims the question will be about the what is uranium enrichment. And second important thing about the, you see the watchdog, International Atomic Energy Agency. This is the international organization, International Atomic Energy Agency. Now this is the international body. For prelims point of view, you have to understand the first what is uranium enrichment and why Iran increases the level of uranium enrichment, and what is the result if Iran will increase more more reserve of enrichment uranium. So first understand what is uranium enrichment. We know that uranium naturally we extract from some of the earth crust, and we know a very well place called Jadugoda in Jharkhand, one place where uranium is, most of the uranium found in India. And uranium naturally found in two way, one is called U-235 and U-238. These are the two isotope of uranium, and this U-235 0.7%. Whatever the ore, you will see the ore. You know what is ore? Basically it contain both impurities and minerals. So ore क्या होता है कि contain impurities and minerals. So we have to extract uranium 235 from the ore. Now when you will see ore contain U-235 and U-238 both, ये दोनों contain करता है. U-235 is 0.7% and U-38 is 99.3%. Now this U-35 is basically required for a nuclear energy plus nuclear bomb. दोनों के लिए U-35 का जरूरत पड़ती है. Now what required कि this 0.7% is not sufficient for a reaction called a nuclear fission reaction. Nuclear fission reaction. Now what is nuclear fission reaction? There are two type of reaction. One is called nuclear fission and another one is called fusion. Fusion reaction, that is the reaction happen in core of the sun. सन के कोर में जो रिएक्शन होती है इसको न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन रिएक्शन कहते हैं. एंड न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन रिएक्शन इज बेसिकली एटॉमिक पावर. एटॉमिक पावर को रन करने के लिए जो रिएक्शन होती है उसको कहते हैं न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन रिएक्शन. टू सस्टेन अ न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन रिएक्शन दिस U-235 that is 0.7% is not sufficient. It must be increase the concentration of U-235. And when scientist increases the concentration of U-35 by a process called isotope separation. Process called isotope separation is one method through which we increase the concentration of U-235. U-235 का concentration को increase करते हैं, and that method is required for chain reaction. You know what is chain reaction? Chain reaction basically reaction where same elements formed in each process, that is called a self-sustaining process, self-sustaining reaction. And because of this, what will happen? This uranium U-235 will help in production of nuclear energy, that is called atomic power plus nuclear bomb. Now what is the deal all about? Now you have to understand the U-235 is contain naturally 0.7%. To increase the concentration of U-235 by a process called isotope separation, that process is called enrichment process. This process is called enrichment. When we increase the concentration of U-235, it's called enrichment process. Now there are two things you have to know. Ki when concentration of U-235 is 5% to 20%, this is called a low enrichment uranium. And when the concentration increase by 20% till 90%, it is called a high enriched uranium. Now this high enriched uranium is more suitable for a atom bomb और न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब. ठीक है, एटम बॉम्ब न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब के लिए U-235 का कंसंट्रेशन 90% होना चाहिए, और फॉर एटॉमिक एनर्जी इट मस्ट बी 5% till 5%, that is if concentration of U-235 till 5% is sufficient for generation of electricity. This is the all about your about the concept of uranium enrichment. What is the enrichment uranium? Basically, what is enrichment uranium? That is the when we increase the concentration of U-235 from 0.7% to 5%, is called enrichment process. And this process is done by a process called isotope separation method. Okay, isotope separation method. And when the concentration of if any nation increase the reserve of U-235 with a more enriched uranium with concentration of more than 20%, that nation violate the international law. Internationally, most of the countries are agreed that they will not increase the concentration of U-235 more than 5%. But recently, Iran increases concentration of U-235 more than 3.67%. So this is the violation of the law. That's why it was in news. So we see the news in detail. What is the news? Iran breaches uranium enrichment cap. Iran has breached uranium enrichment cap set by 2015 nuclear deal. Now there is one question: what was the nuclear deal in 2015? Okay. Basically, what happened before 2015? Before 2015, Iran secretly increases the concentration of U-235, and most of the big nations like US, Russia come to know about this fact by some process called spying, because of intelligence agency. They come to know about that Iran increases the concentration of U-235 and Iran is planning to install a nuclear bomb. Okay, so there was an agreement signed in 2015 that is called a joint comprehensive plan of action. Joint comprehensive plan of action. It was an agreement signed in 2015 by Iran and P5 plus one nation. P5 basically a permanent nation of United Nations Security Councils like US, UK, ठीक है, रसिया, चाइना, जर्मनी, प्लस वन इंक्लूड योर यूरोपियन यूनियन. तो इन नेशंस के बीच में और ईरान के बीच में एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ कि ईरान विल नॉट इंक्रीज द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ U-235 मोर देन 3.67%. मतलब यूरेनियम कंसंट्रेशन जो इनरिच्ड यूरेनियम लेवल है दैट विल नॉट increase the concentration more than 3.67%. But this was confirmed by International Atomic Energy Agency that Iran increases the concentration more than 3.67%, and this was happened because of US stand. It and the Weber plan from South Asian nations like India, China, Japan are importing oil from the Iran. Now the economy of Iran is declining. Now there decrease in GDP of Iran. So this is the reason why Iran increases the uranium enrichment cap, and also want the European Union. If European Union will again will take same step as the US President Donald Trump, then it will again increase the enrichment uranium capacity more than 5%. It means it is a direct indication about the installation of nuclear bomb by a Iranian government. This is the reason why it is a cause of concern for each nation. Okay, so see here statement. So United Nations deal. So this United Nations nuclear deal watchdog International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed that Iran had enriched uranium to level above the deal cap. So what was the deal cap? 3.67%. ये डील में था कि ईरान अपना जो U-235 का कंसंट्रेशन उससे ज्यादा इंक्रीज नहीं करेगा, लेकिन अभी क्या है कि ये 5% इंक्रीज कर गया है. व्हाट इज द इंक्रीज ऑफ 5%? बेसिकली U-235 concentration of uranium increases U-235 more than 5%. That is the indication of nuclear bomb. It means Iran will launch some missiles. Okay, Iran will launch some missiles that is contain a nuclear bomb. So this was the now see the here about the statement uranium enrichment. What is the uranium enrichment all about? Uranium enrichment has two isotopes. One is called 235 and 238. As I told you, this is the naturally found, and you know the concentration of U-235 is just 0.7% and concentration U-238 is 0.93%. Okay, so to increase the concentration of uranium-235 power both nuclear reactor and nuclear bombs, but it is less than 1% of naturally occurring uranium. So we have to increase the concentration of uranium. This is the when we increase the concentration of uranium-235, this is called a enrichment process. The concentration of uranium-235 need to be increased to about 5%. When it increase 5%, that is called low enriched uranium for nuclear reactor fuel, and about 90% that is called high enriched uranium for nuclear bombs. This process called enrichment. So there was a deal that was signed by Iran, that is called Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, where Iran means increase low enriched uranium not more than 5%. That is the target was set by a nation's 3.67%. Now recently Iranian government increases the low enrichment uranium level more than 5%. That's why it was a cause of concern for each nation. Okay, so today enrichment is done using a high speed gas centrifuges. Now this is the one important news about in current affair that will help you to solve question in prelims. So for prelims point of view, how this news is important, you have to understand the enriched uranium process. What do you understand with the term enriched uranium process? And one international body, that is International Atomic Energy Agency. So you know International Atomic Energy Agency, one fact, it is the International Atomic Energy Agency is an international organization that seeks to promote the peaceful use of nuclear energy and to inhibit the use of any military purpose, including nuclear weapons. It has a headquarters Vienna, Austria. Okay, it widely known as Atoms of Peace and Development. Remember the point, Atoms of Peace and Development. Okay, and it has 171 member states. Most United Nations member had Holy See are member of the IEA. So these are some important point regarding this news. Okay, let's move to next international news. So this is a very small news about the 200% duty on Pakistan goods. Now Indian government increases the duty. That is, what is duty on Pakistan goods? Basically it's about the tariff. Okay, and whatever we importing or exporting, that increase the taxes. So Parliament has adopted a statutory resolution for levying 2% duty on all goods originating in or exported from Pakistan. Okay, so whatever we are importing from Pakistan, that goods will be more costlier for us. So Indian traders or Indian entrepreneurs who are importing something from Pakistan, that will not import, because it will become more costly. So this is, you have to focus here about this statutory resolution. What is statutory resolution? Basically it is a resolution pursuant to the provision in the constitution or an act of the parliament. So whatever the bill or act that is passed by a parliament, okay, parliament, that is called a statutory. That is called statutory. And resolution basically is a type of notice, a type of introduction of bill. So when statutory resolution passed, means whenever resolution, see when you will study polity, there are two type of things. One is called notice and resolution. So basically a notice, when a notice introduced in parliament, it is not means if it will not pass by a member of the parliament, then it's not any big deal, but resolution must be passed by in a parliament. So that is called a resolution, statutory resolution, that is by an act of the parliament. So this is the 200% duty on Pakistani goods. So student, today because of some technical problem, I am not able to see chat on big screen. I am seeing your chat in my mobile. If you have any doubt regarding this news, you just mention here. Okay, now next news is about the 5 eyes. Five eyes. What is 5 eyes? Basically it is a group of 5 nations whose intelligence are working together, to know about the communication of foreign nations, to know some terrorist activity in one nation to another nation. Basically it was formed in 1946. It is a group of 5 nations, that is Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom and United States. The intelligence of all these states, all these countries means working together, and they are watching about all the unlawful activities that is happening in one nation to another nation, and they are informing, they are giving a warning to one nation to another nation. Basically it was originated in 1946 during the after the World War II, and United States and United Kingdom एंड दैट टाइम वाज द एरा ऑफ कोल्ड वार एरा. ठीक, कोल्ड वार एरा चल रहा था सोवियत यूनियन और यूएसए के बीच में. तो बोथ द बिगेस्ट पावर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड means making their own territory in one part of the world. So in that case, United States, United Kingdom both agreed an open exchange of intelligence on the communication of foreign nations. It was expanded when the Canada joined in 1948 and Australia, New Zealand. So basic, you have to know the name of the nations. Which of the following nation is the part of Five Eyes? One, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and United States. And the functioning of this Five Eyes. So Five Eyes allowed the national intelligence to share monitoring infrastructure and to track nuclear armed Soviet submarines during the Cold War. तो Cold War के समय में Five Eyes nation all are watching about the movement of ships by Russia towards the toward the USA from the Atlantic Ocean. So Atlantic Ocean से जो भी ship जो भी आ रहे थे, so like this is the Atlantic Ocean. So movement of ship by Russia, and here again Pacific Ocean. So Japan. So this is the movement of ships from the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. So basically these nations are keeping eye on the movement of ships, how, and ships and submarines. Ships and submarines. Okay. So this is the about Five Eyes. Functioning about the surveillance partnership strengthened the following the 9/11 attacks on the United States, and monitoring of internet communication has since expanded exponentially. Now one more news from international point of view, but it was initiated in India about during the budget session. Budget session, our finance minister under the ideas scheme one in new features introduced that our government now will provide Aadhaar card to NRIs. Those NRI are means who are not able to receive the Aadhaar card from the our government, now they will eligible to give receive Aadhaar card. So who are NRI? The NRI basically who are living in India less than 182 days. No, means more than 182 days they are living outside India. Outside India, that are NRI. So basically they will now be able to get Aadhaar card. And what is this scheme? Now for prelims point of view, this scheme is very important. This Indian Development Assistance Scheme, Ideas Scheme. What is this scheme? Scheme will basically, scheme का main objective क्या है? It provide a small loan to less developing nations like Bhutan, some African nations. वहां पर अगर कोई इंडियन ओरिजिन पर्सन रह रहे हैं तो उनको लोन प्रोवाइड कराता है फॉर बेसिकली इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट. सो दिस स्कीम, नाउ दिस स्कीम under this scheme government will give a loan to a person who are living in different nations, and basically they are NRI. Now they are able to receive loan from their own nations bank. So this will be help to infrastructure development and capacity building in recipient developing countries under Ideas scheme. Okay, any doubt, student who are watching right now? If you have any doubt regarding this current affair, please post your query. So basically Ideas scheme is all about in Indian Development Assistance Scheme. So for prelims point of view, this scheme is important. Okay, now one more news internationally important to know, for this news is important for world map, क्योंकि आप जानते हो कि prelims में 2 to 3 questions from world map से आता ही है prelims में. So for prelims point of view, this news is important. Like according to International Maritime Bureau, West African Gulf of Guinea became the world's most pirate infested sea in 2018. So basically, you know Gulf of Guinea. Where is Gulf of Guinea? This is the Africa nation. So this area is called the Gulf of Guinea. So in all over world, this Gulf of Guinea is more pirated nations, a more pirated place. Okay, you will see here Ghana is here, Nigeria is here. Okay, so these are the some countries. Now you have to, what you will do, all students today, what you will do, you just see the name of the some coast are here, Gold Coast, Slave Coast, and some coast name is given here. From you have to remember from west to east. So this location is very important for a world map question, type world map question that is always asked in prelims examination. Which of the following countries from Ludhiana, one question where we can find new PDF. News PDF you will download from aspiration.ai. Aspiration.ai you will download today's PDF current affair. Okay, today's current affair PDF you will download from aspiration.ai. I already sent to all centers. ठीक है, मैंने PDF ऑलरेडी भेज चुका हूं, aspiration.ai से आप डाउनलोड कर लेना. Okay. So basically, why you must be you have one query about one question in your mind कि why this current affair I am discussing in this such a manner कि already everything is given despite I am means writing. So why this happened? Annual piracy report, basically my aim is to give you some information about how to read current affair from prelims point of view and what are the things you will take from the current affair. For example, this news some student will started to mug up कि no, Gulf of Guinea is more pirated. UPSC will never ask you about which location is more pirated in world. In 2018 UPSC will ask this question in world map manner. Means you have to remember the location of the place. West African Gulf of Guinea has become the world's most pirate infested sea with 72 attacks last year. No, what is piracy? Piracy is also happened in nearby Arabian Sea in our country. Indian Oceans में भी होता है काफी सारा. Basically this type of one dacoits which carry a lot of weapons along with them, and they are looted the ships. Movement of ships, basically ships carry a lot of goods that is more valuable goods, and they means looted these ships. That process called piracy. So pirate infested most of the Gulf of Guinea. This is the location where this type of crime is more strengthening in this area these days. Between 2014 and 2018 the number of incidents each year in Southeast Asia will fell 141 to 60. Means everywhere the decline in the cases of piracy, but in case of South Gulf of Guinea, West African coastal part again means more frequently happening such type of phenomena, which is in 2007 to 12 is this country post piracy. Means Somalia coast, this is the part of the Somalia coast, this is the eastern part of Africa, and you know here India is there, and this Arabian Sea is present. So this area is always affected because of piracy. Now this area have declined in piracy, and now this area have increased in piracy. Okay, so this point you should remember the location of eastern western part of Africa. And which of the following nations here making border with the Arabian Sea. Okay, फिर यहाँ पर आपको रेड सी मिल जाएगा, ये रेड सी का ऊपर वाला पार्ट मिल जाएगा. सो मेडिटेरियन सी पूछ चुका है, 2 बार पूछ चुका है प्रीलिम्स में. सो रिमेंबर अबाउट द रेड सी. इस बार भी रेड सी पे क्वेश्चन था, एंड दिस वन इज कॉल्ड पार्ट ऑफ अटलांटिक क्वेश्चन, एंड दिस इज द अरेबियन सी. तो मेक सम notes or make some try to see world map and note down the name of the country which is making border with the Arabian Sea. Next question is about one important question, one important news regarding Chinese growth slowdown. This news, Chinese growth slowdown. Now why this news is important? Because we will, after reading this news, we come to know about two things. One thing कि what nation do when their GDP is declining. अगर किसी नेशन का GDP डिक्लाइन होता है तो उसमें क्या स्टेप लेना चाहिए टू अगेन इंक्रीज द ग्रोथ ऑफ नेशन. टू थिंग्स हम देखें कि चाइना का इज अ वेरी गुड एग्जांपल. इन लास्ट 27 ईयर्स में 27 ईयर्स के बाद इसका जो जीडीपी है वो डिक्लाइन हुआ है. And what is the reason behind this? So China's economic growth slowed down, record 6.2% in the second quarter of this year. Statement no need to remember for principal point of view. You just remember कि Chinese growth slowed down because of the one concept called trade war. Okay, trade war की वजह से. Now this trade war between US and China. US और चाइना के बीच में ट्रेड वार हो रहा है. So what is the basic reason of trade war? What is the trade war? Basically, it is a protectionism step. You know what is protectionism? Protectionism is one term in economy when a nation take a step when it protect the local market, or we can say a domestic market. जब डोमेस्टिक मार्केट को प्रोटेक्ट करना है when to increase employment in their domestic market, a nation take one step called a protectionism step, means protection of domestic market from international market. So basically, suppose the country A and B both are trading to each other. So this is the A, suppose US, and this one is China. Now what A will do, A will increase the tariff rate, basically export whatever the things export from the B to A. Now A will increase the tariff rate. Because of this, what will happen? The market, the people who are exporting, who are importing the goods from the nation B, they will stop because it will become more costlier. In a similar manner, B will also increase the tariff rate. So the Chinese people, again, they will not import anything from the USA because of the costlier rate. So both are playing taking the same step. Both are taking the same step of protectionism. So this phenomenon is called basically trade war. And you know, China occupied second rank in world economy. So that's why Chinese decline in growth is play an important role here. Okay, so decline in Chinese growth, basically reason is trade war. And you understand what is trade war. Trade war basically between US and China, and it is a step called a protectionism when Donald Trump's want to provide a more job to US citizens instead of most of the job basically given to outsourced people migrated from India, Japan, China to USA, and they are receiving lot of earning lot of money in USA and getting jobs. So Donald Trump's want, they will first provide a full job to all the US citizen, then he will take some step and will provide some other step when other nations people come and occupy a job in their nations. So this is the called Chinese trade war with US. Because of this, China trade is declining. As we know that trade war, basically China, US occupied a very, US have very largest economy all over the world. So it dominant, dollar always dominant everywhere. So yuan, that is the Chinese currency, is now weakened because of decline. There is a less trade between US and China. Now what is the reason for the Chinese low growth rate? Because this is the result of trade war with United States and weakening of global demand. So what is trade war here? It is a side effect of protectionism where, for example, country A imposes taxes and tariff on country B. Same thing which I had already explained you. Both the country will take similar steps. So because of this, what will happen? Both country trade will be declined. Now what China will do to increase the growth? So China will first, it will cut in bank's reserve requirement ratio. Now student, this one is important for prelims point of view. Reserve requirement ratio in our country, we have a cash reserve ratio, okay, SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. In monetary policy we will study these are cash reserve ratio, SLR, repo rate. So these are the some reserve requirement. What will do if similar situation will happen with India, then RBI will decline, will decreases the level of CRR, SLR and repo rate. So what will happen? More liquidity in the market, more liquidity in the market will be there. Okay, so more liquidity basically means more demand and supply, means more entrepreneurs will start to take loan from the bank, and bank will started to give more loan to other private sector. So more demand will be there, more investment by a private sector. So basically China, similar step is taking by China also, means they are declining the bank's reserve requirement ratio. In our country, we know CRR, SLR, the same, this all are called reserve requirement ratio in our nation also. So if similar situation will happen in our country, so that was, remember, 2008 situation. In 2008 in our country, GDP was declining very rapidly. So in that case, our nation, our Indian government is also taking the similar steps regarding the decline in decrease in value, decrease in percentage of CRR, SLR, repo rate. Second important thing is fiscal stimulus package given by a government to a people. Basically, what is fiscal stimulus? It is a two type. One is called monetary fiscal stimulus में क्या होता है कि there is a decline in interest rate will be decline. So more, if interest rate will decline, it means more people will start to take loan from the bank. And one fiscal stimulus basically this step taken by Indian government. And what will happen? The government will spending more, government will spend more because to increase employment एंड डिमांड, एम्प्लॉयमेंट और डिमांड को इंक्रीज करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग मोर करेंगे. सो दिस आर द सम स्टेप्स टेकन बाय इंडियन गवर्नमेंट 2008 व्हेन आवर जीडीपी वाज डिक्लाइनिंग सो लो. So similarly, physical stimulus package where government will give more money in such a sector that will increase in employment and demand. So this is called a fiscal stimulus step. So remember the term fiscal stimulus again, important for prelims point of view. And reserve requirement ratio about the CRR, SLR. What will happen if CRR value CRR is decreasing by RBI? So CRR decreasing, what is CRR? Basically, commercial bank keep some money with the Reserve Bank of India, and like for example 4%. If commercial bank have 100 rupees, out of 100 rupees 4 rupees will keep along with RBI को पास वो 4 रुपया जमा करेगा, 96 रुपीज को वो लोन वगैरह जो भी काम करना कर सकता है, मीन्स 4 रुपया वो अपना रिजर्व रखेगा. दैट इज कॉल्ड कैश रिजर्व रेशियो. एंड SLR बेसिकली अबाउट द गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, मीन्स एवरी बैंक मस्ट keep some amount of money as in the form of government security. So in such a situation, when the people have no trust over the commercial bank, they will come to bank and want to money, whatever their money in saving account. So in such a situation, commercial bank will able to give their money back to the customer. So that's why RBI is taking such steps, that is called a CRR, SLR. So more CRR is means more money commercial bank have to keep with RBI. It means less chances of giving loan to the customers. अगर मनी अगर 4% के जगह पे 10% आता है तो मतलब 90 रुपीज बैंक के पास होता है वो लोन देने के लिए. तो व्हाट विल हैपन, बैंक विल इंक्रीज द इंटरेस्ट रेट. इन सच केस इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज करेगा और उसकी वजह से क्या होगा कि कस्टमर्स को ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोन नहीं मिलेगा. नाउ दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द डिक्लाइन इन Chinese growth because of trade war. So China is taking the step like how to increase again the growth. So that are fiscal stimulus and change in reserve ratios. Now what is the effect of Indian economy over decline in Chinese growth? See, whatever thing, because of we know yuan, the currency is weakened. So what will happen? The first thing, our import become cheaper. हमारा import क्या होगा? cheaper होगा. Second क्या हो जाएगा? Basically export become, what we export to China basically in the form of raw materials. हम लोग raw materials China को भेजते हैं. So it will become a costly. Third thing, more industries from China will shift towards India because of better demand and supply. So India को क्या फायदा होगा इससे? इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में फायदा होगा. ठीक है, बेसिकली क्या होगा, FDI से आने से क्या होता है, FDI आती है हमारी कंट्री में तो क्या चीज का फायदा होता है? इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, टेक्नोलॉजी, ये सब की फायदा होती है. तो मोर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन आवर nations, we gain a more infrastructure from Chinese. So import become cheaper, we are importing more items. So most of the thing we importing from China is finished goods, and you know some manufacturer industries also importing raw materials from China. So in such a situation we will import more raw materials, which helps to make a more of finished goods in our country. So this is the important for your prelims point of view. Now next question, next topic is Kartarpur Sahib. Pakistan has agreed to give year-long visa-free access to Indian pilgrims to the holy Gurdwara Kartarpur Sahib. Now Kartarpur Sahib, India-Pakistan relation, you know, always disturbed. So this again important for a mains point of view and again for prelims point of view. How it's important for mains? Mains से important ये हो जाएगा कि how Indian foreign relation means link with the, how Indian foreign relation is linked with the cultural significance. Cultural significance, like our neighbor जो nations हैं, like पाकिस्तान, नेपाल, बांग्लादेश, ठीक है, इनके साथ हमारा foreign relation कैसा है and how we are means linking with the cultural significance. So cultural significance, this is called road to peace and will connect Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan, Kartarpur district and Dera Baba Nanak shrine in India, Gurdaspur district. So remember these two locations. So this location Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan's Kartarpur and Dera Baba Nanak since in India Gurdwara districts. So this one again important, maybe they can reverse the name. So the Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in India and they frame in UPSC, they frame a question in such a manner. The construction of this corridor allow visa free access to pilgrims from India. Remember this point in bullet, whatever I mentioned in bullet means a black more dark, that will import, that point is very important. So it was since 1988, 88 के बाद 1980 से इसके ऊपर बात चल रही है, लेकिन अभी जाके इसको परमिशन दिया गया है. Okay, so thing that is important here, the Gurdwara in Kartarpur stand on the bank of river Ravi, about 120 km northeast of Lahore. This important point. Now this point is important. The shrine is visible from the Indian side as Pakistani authorities generally trim the elephant grass that would otherwise obstruct the view. Basically क्या होती है, this is the Gurdwara in Pakistan and river Ravi and this is the part of India. This is the part. Now the pilgrims pilgrims watching this from by using of binoculars, okay, and they mean seeing the Gurdwara that is present in Pakistan. But because of the increase in elephant grass is a type of grass which have more height, so that's means protect to see, it will not possible to see a Gurdwara from India when the height of this grass increases. So Pakistani authority basically trim this grass, they cut the in short heights, so they are able to see from Indian side. So this is the Gurdwara, Kartarpur Gurdwara news by, okay. Second, 9th number question, second India-Russia strategic economic dialogue. Second India-Russia strategic economic dialogue was held in New Delhi. Now, first one happened in Pittsburgh in 2018. The first Russia strategic economic dialogue was held in St. Petersburg between November 25 to 26, 2018. Now, this is the 6 core area where the dialogue was signed. MOU signed between India and Russia about the development, transport infrastructure, development of agriculture and agro-processing sector, small and medium business support, digital transformation and frontier technology, cooperation in trade. So this 6 core area is important for prelims point of view. Now again Commonwealth was in news. Commonwealth, what is the Commonwealth? Basically it is the all the nations that as a part of the British colonial rules. Okay, once the part of British colonial rules. Now why it was in news? Because of India wants Maldives again join Commonwealth nations. Okay, you just read this news, download from expression.ai, and India has a Commonwealth to expedite readmission of the Maldives as a member country. Now we'll see some national news. About first national news is rainwater harvesting sales. rainwater harvesting sale. This is a national news. Now, what is the significance of rainwater harvesting? Why it is important for a government to initiate a one process where they are requesting all the nation people, all the people of our country to practice this method, how you have to conserve more water in our locality. So rainwater harvesting sale, this is a duty given to urban bodies, urban local bodies. Okay, Union Housing and Urban Affair Ministry has released guideline for urban water conservation. So basically we see some problem in urban areas, okay, because of more concretization. Now what is concretization? Because of more road, buildings, means rainwater is not able to percolate over this. Rainwater ho raha, so it is not able to percolate under the ground, so it started to move runoff because of very hard concrete floor. So they means this is the reason why we are means urban, in urban area there is a problem of urban flood. अर्बन फ्लड की प्रॉब्लम होती है अर्बन एरियाज में, क्योंकि रेन वाटर मीन्स level of water is increases and not able to percolate inside the earth surface. So it means this concrete shape, this concrete materials means transfer this water towards some other regions. So this is called agriculture runoff. Okay. Center has asked all urban local bodies to set up a cell for effective monitoring of rainwater harvesting and revive at least one water body in their respective area. The Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry has issued guideline for urban water conservation, saying rainwater harvesting cells. So this is the duty given to municipal corporation will monitor the extent of groundwater extraction, groundwater. Now the problem is groundwater in urban areas, lot of in groundwater. So that's why one step taken by a government where we increase the concentration of groundwater water, that is one reserve where we can get water when the rainfall is declining, in our country. So one initiative called Jal Shakti Abhiyan, and the Jal Shakti Abhiyan basically it will start in two phases. One is from 1st July until September 15. Second phase will start from October 1 to November 30. So urban local bodies should consider a rainwater harvesting cell which will responsible for effective monitoring of rainwater harvesting in the city. So this rainwater harvesting cell is important for prelims. What is the need of what is the work done by a rainwater harvesting cell? So who is authority to monitor the all these things? So this one, urban local bodies. Urban local bodies should identify all the water body in the city and select one of rejuvenation through public consultation. So remember, public consultation required. And concretization increases surface runoff and restricted natural percolation of water contribute to urban flooding. Now you know one question in mains examination in 2016 about the urban flood. Most of the urban flood why happened in Chennai and Mumbai. So this is the reason about the concretizations, means not a proper planning by urban local bodies that increases the water level in the city when the rainfall happened with a very good amount of rainfall happened. So in that case more rainwater will be collected at a particular location and that causes the urban flooding, that is disturb the transporting system, means it means reaches the nearby, it cover lot of areas of the cities. So what many peoples are affected because of urban flooding. So during such situation a spread of diseases will be spread. Okay. And means it is not basically hygienic for urban people. So that's why government is taking initiative, we will protect the urban area from urban flooding also, at the same time we conserve water, because you know the issue because of climate change. Now the rainfall in our country is not defined in a proper manner. Some years it is more than normal, and sometime it is very less than normal rainfall. So this is the reason why government is taking step for preservation of rainwater also and protection of cities from the urban flood. So urban local bodies should undertake deconcretization of payments. Basically deconcretization, basically we will some location of the area where no concrete will be there, their soil will be present, open earth surface will be there, and these areas will receive rainwater and percolation of rainwater under the ground, and because of this level of groundwater will be increases. If whole area is a contain concretizations, then what will happen? Rainwater will be not able to percolate and it will be move in different direction, that cause a urban flooding. So basically there are two motive behind this Jal Shakti Abhiyan, to protect the urban areas from urban flooding and at the same time we conserve more water. Jal Jeevan Mission, another scheme that is important. So it was introduced during the budget. Har Ghar Jal to all rural household by 2024. So this point is important. Jal Jeevan Mission, what is the main objective of this mission? Har Ghar Jal, kaisa kiska ghar? Basically in rural areas, not in urban areas. This is the problem in rural areas. Most of the women are collecting water from the nearby lakes, okay, and flowing rivers. So that rivers contain a lot of contaminated waters, and that again when they are using in domestic uses, when they utilize such water in domestic uses, it causes a disease cause karta hai. So basically governments want to provide a potable water, basically that water we can use in domestic purpose, for drinking purpose, making a food, cooking food, okay. So Har Ghar Jal to all rural household by 2024, this is the aim of the government. जैसे अभी गवर्नमेंट की एम थी ना कि हर खेत को पानी अंडर द स्कीम कॉल्ड प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना, मीन्स more per drop more crop. This is the initiative of the government to increase the irrigation facility in each and every field, okay. Similarly Har Ghar Jal, basically providing a potable water till 2020 for every rural households. हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल गवर्नमेंट का भी एक स्कीम चल रही है 2022 तक, 2022 तक everybody have their house, own house, the housing for all scheme launched by the government. So see the here piped water supply to all rural household by 2024. Piped water means it is not now the what will happen कि women will not go and collect water from the nearby lake and flowing rivers, means there is a facility of potable water in their own home. So they are means traveling a larger distance to collect a water for domestic use. They now they have to not move anywhere. So mission objective to ensure Har Ghar Jal piped water supply to all rural household by 2024 under Jal Jeevan Mission. Now note this one, executing agency, because sometime in prelims they asked question about this scheme is under which ministry, और sometime they ask executing agency के बारे में पूछ देता है कि who is implementing this scheme. So Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation under the Jal Shakti Mantralaya. Now this is again important, Jal Shakti Mantralaya, one ministry means formed by government, constituted by BJP government, for that will give a special emphasis about the water problem in our country. What are the different water problem, like drinking water problem, about the domestic use of water problem. So everything means whatever the issues related with the water, that will be taken by a Jal Shakti Mantralaya. So what is the strategy? They focus on demand and supply side management, water at the local level, including creation of local infrastructure for source sustainability like rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge and management household, okay. Now one important, this Jal Shakti Mantralaya is means constituted by Indian government by combining the two ministry. So Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, and Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. These two ministry combined together to create a Jal Shakti Mantralaya. Next, National Research Foundation. Basically what is the research? This is the scheme launched by Indian government, where you will see a program called Study in India to promote higher education in our country. ठीक है, so focus on bringing foreign student to study in our higher education institutions to make India a global hub in education, and government will give 400 crore to each institution for bringing more infrastructure development and research and development equipments. So this research and development ज़्यादा आएगा हमारे कंट्री में, student will learn faster. So amount of rupees 400 crore has been provided by financial year 2019-20 world class institution बनाने के लिए. Now this National Research Foundation will be set up to fund, coordinate and promote research in the country. Study in India program was announced that will focus on bringing foreign students to study in our higher educational institutions. So basically one program called Study in India program that giving more focus on bringing foreign student that will come in India and study. तो पहले ऐसा इनिशिएटिव, पहले इंडियन स्टूडेंट बाहर जाके पढ़ते थे, अब क्या हो गया, बाहर के लोग आके इंडिया में पढ़ेंगे. So this is the given emphasis to promote development of education system. Now one more scheme, प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना. It was introduced during the budget session, and basically we are giving more emphasis to the fishing industries. फिशिंग पे हम ज़्यादा फोकस करेंगे. वाई वी आर फोकसिंग मोर ऑन फिशिंग इंडस्ट्रीज इंस्टेड ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर? बिकॉज दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ द एग्रीकल्चर ऑल्सो. एलिड एक्टिविटीज में आते हैं, फिशिंग का भी सारा काम आता है. सो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट इज प्रोमिस टू डबलिंग द फार्मर इनकम टिल 2022. 2022 तक फार्मर इनकम डबल करना है. तो उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव नॉट गिविंग मोर एम्फेसिस टू एग्रीकल्चर बट ऑल्सो एट द सेम टाइम सम एलिड एक्टिविटीज लाइक फिशिंग कल्टिवेशन. So what is the significance of this scheme? This yojana will create a modern infrastructure with efficient supply chain management from gate to retail outlet. It will increase the growth of food processing sector in the country. It will increase GDP, employment and investment. See, employment generation. We know that agriculture, more than 60% of people is today again depend on agriculture activity. So most 60% of employment in agriculture. So if we diverse our agriculture more, then employment will be again increased. At the same time they will get us sufficient money also. Okay, so this is about the Matsya Yojana, Sampada Yojana. Now 10-point vision for the decade. आज का आप लोग एडिटोरियल पढ़िएगा. आज के एडिटोरियल में आपने देखा होंगे कि गवर्नमेंट की जो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट की जो इनिशिएटिव है टू मेक अ 5 ट्रिलियन इंडियन इकोनॉमी टिल 2024-25. आज का एडिटोरियल में आया है, इसी के बारे में बात किया है. और दिस इज द करंट अफेयर से 10-point vision for the decade. Means in 2014 BJP government means promised they will in coming 10 years they will increase the Indian economy value from 5 trillion. अभी कितना हो गया, 3 ट्रिलियन हो चुका है. तो इतना इंक्रीज के लिए गवर्नमेंट के पास क्या स्ट्रेटेजी होगी? दैट इज कॉल्ड 10-point vision for the decade. So Union Finance Minister representing Union Budget 2019-20 in Parliament said that Indian economy will become $3 trillion economy in the current year, and it is in the path of achieving Prime Minister vision for $5 trillion economy by 2024. तो इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट क्या स्टेप लेगा उसके बारे में 10 विजन पॉइंट है. ये मेंस में भी आप इसके ऊपर अच्छा आंसर लिख सकते हो इफ यू आर नो द ऑल 10 पॉइंट्स. ओके, नाउ दिस इज द so we see the what are the 10 points. 10 points क्या क्या है? First point, building physical and social infrastructure. 10 vision for the decade. Outing its genesis interim budget 2019-20 presenting February 2019. The finance minister flagged 10 point of government vision for the decade. Building physical and social infrastructure. What is physical infrastructure? Basically include your ट्रांसपोर्ट, ठीक है, ट्रांसपोर्ट करना, ओके, बेटर कनेक्टिविटी होना वन पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री टू अनदर कंट्री, ओके, वर्ल्ड क्लास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होना, this is called physical infrastructure. And what is the social infrastructure? Basically health facility, health, each person get a sufficient health, okay, education to all, we are, these are the some social infrastructure. Digital India reaching every sector of the economy, डिजिटल इंडिया को और ज़्यादा बढ़ाना देना, हर फील्ड में लाना है. Pollution free India with green mother earth and blue skies. Blue sky basically means making a pollution free. Now you know more pollutants in the sky. So this is the one strategy of the government using a green energies. Means less burning of fossil fuels. Less burning of fossil fuels. So less burning of fossil means emission of less pollutants, carbon dioxide gases in the atmosphere. So it will make a blue skies. Basically blue sky means with no, you will see a clear sky, no any pollutants that obstruct the your visibility. Pollution free India with green mother earth. Make in India with a particular emphasis MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, startups, defense manufacturing, automobiles, electronics, fabs and batteries and medical devices. वाटर मैनेजमेंट, यू नो वाटर मैनेजमेंट सेल के बारे में जो हम लोग बात किए अभी उसमें आ जाएगा. ब्लू इकोनॉमी, स्पेस प्रोग्राम, गगनयान, चंद्रयान एंड सैटेलाइट प्रोग्राम्स. सो दीज आर सम इंपॉर्टेंट 10 पॉइंट्स. टीम इंडिया विद जन भागीदारी, मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट, मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस. दिस इज द वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट स्ट्रेटेजी ऑफ द मोदी गवर्नमेंट टू प्रोवाइड अ मोर welfare scheme and welfare to the people of our country by minimum government, maximum governance. Now one more scheme in ISRO, New Space India. What is the scheme? It is a basically scheme is about New Space India Limited has been incorporated as a new commercial arm of Department of Space to tap the benefit of research and development done by ISRO. जो ISRO का जो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट है प्रोसेस, उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट एक नया इनिशिएटिव ली है, एक नया बॉडी का ऑर्गेनाइज किया है, दैट इज कॉल्ड न्यू स्पेस इंडिया लिमिटेड. So this is the one scheme which will work under ISRO, and here the scientists will research about the satellites, about the earth, of the earth atmosphere, about the space, what type of satellite we will launch for to know the location of water in moon, or whether the life exists on the Mars or not. So this is the one body. You will, after reading this news from the current PDF file, you will be able to understand. One again, Ayush Grid Project. Ayush Grid Project, basically Ayush stand for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. So basically the Ministry of Ayush and Electronics and Information Technology signed MOU in New Delhi to collaborate the digitization of Ayush sector. So Electronics and Information Technology Ministry has agreed to give technical support to Ayush Ministry for planning development of Ayush Grid project. So what is this Ayush Grid project? Basically government want to connect each and every corner of our country with a Ayush Grid project. Means if the people are somewhere in other part of our country which are facing some problem regarding the yoga or any, they want to know something about the Ayurvedic, so by the connectivity this grid project, that is means by making digitization, it is possible for people now to know information in a very short period of time. Means they are able to give their query a very clear manner. So this is the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and both Ayush Ministry both have taken initiative and they will work together for making Ayush Grid project. So e-hospital, e-Aushadhi, e-Rakt Kosh, online registration system and e-Sushrut for digitizing the internal workflow and process of hospital across the country. Okay. So student, are you there? Are you all are there, or are you watching this current affair class or not? No question, no any query. First download this current affair, okay, from expression.ai and try to read. So one more scheme called a STRIDE scheme, scheme for transdisciplinary research for India's developing economy scheme. What is the scheme? Scheme is launched by University Grant Commission, and what is the objective of this scheme? To strengthen research culture and innovation college university. Bhushan Patwardhan committee was created for this scheme, and he is headed this scheme as a chairman, and this means provide some steps. स्ट्राइड कंपोनेंट क्या क्या इसके कंपोनेंट हो जाएंगे? पहला हो जाएगा आइडेंटिफाइंग द मोटिवेटेड यंग टैलेंट्स, ओके. कंपोनेंट 2 हो जाएगा इट विल इनकरेज कोलैबोरेशन बिटवीन यूनिवर्सिटीज, गवर्नमेंट एंड वॉलंटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इंडस्ट्रीज. सो बेसिक आइडिया, सी दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स 2020 के लिए. ये तो हम कह सकते हैं कि अगर कोई स्कीम ना आए, अगर ये स्कीम, तो चांसेस ज्यादा है कि ये आ जाए, क्योंकि स्ट्राइड स्कीम बेसिकली गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग अ नेम इन इटसेल्फ इंडिकेट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. स्कीम फॉर ट्रांसडिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च फॉर इंडियाज डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमी. So main objective of this scheme is to strengthen research culture and innovation in colleges and university. Please remember the name of Bhushan Patwardhan committee, who are advisory committee, was been considered by University Grant Commission. What are the steps required to increase that more? When we increase more research, cultural innovation in colleges and universities. So basically identify the motivated young talents with research and innovation aptitude in universities and colleges, okay. And second component of this scheme is it encourages collaboration between universities, government, voluntary organization, industries. So what happened, basic idea is, suppose you are study a chemistry or chemical engineering. So chemical engineering you are studying in institutions, educational institutions, and one industries that working on the principle of chemical engineering. So student will be now visit this place and able to understand practically, they will able to understand the things ki how this theories and practical are both are linked to each other. Means after studying and doing the practical in a visit of particular industries. So collaboration between university, government and industries, it will help to give more power, more knowledge to the students. Component 3 कहता है कि it will fund with high impact research projects in humanities through national network scientists from leading institution, okay. Next, one nation one ration card scheme. One nation one ration card scheme. What is this? Basically a ration card is available to each BPL family. Now what is the new in this scheme? इस स्कीम में न्यू क्या है कि नाउ द माइग्रेंट्स, सपोज अ बीपीएल फैमिली लिविंग इन राजस्थान एंड नाउ दे माइग्रेट टू उत्तर प्रदेश. while they migrating to Uttar Pradesh, they can access food resources from any PDS shop in Uttar Pradesh. Previously it was that they can access food only in Rajasthan, but now if the families migrate from Rajasthan to Uttar Pradesh, now the people, this family will eligible to access food grain from this PDS soils. So this is the one nation one ration card scheme is all about, to increase the accessibility of the BPL families. When they are BPL families, most of the BPL families migrating from one state to another state for search of job, for better living standard. So what they are facing a lot of problem, because in that other state PDS shop is not providing them a ration. So now they will able to access from different states. So this is the one ration one card scheme. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution is implementing this scheme. So this scheme का basically क्या है कि government is all set to implement one nation one ration card scheme throughout India by 30 June 2020. Remember the date, very important, remember the date here, 30 June 2020. All beneficiaries, especially migrants, can access PDS across the nation from any PDS shop on their own choice. Okay, benefits क्या होगा? No poor person is deprived of getting subsidized food grain under the food security scheme when they shift from one place to another. It also aims to remove chances of anyone holding more than one ration card. तो इसमें जो आपको ट्रांसपेरेंसी रहेंगी, ठीक है, ट्रांसपेरेंसी विल वर्क एंड गवर्नमेंट विल एबल टू प्रोवाइड दिस सर्विस टू ईच एंड एवरी बेनिफिशियरीज, जो भी नीडी पर्सन है उनको इसका सब्सिडी में मिलेगा. सो द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दिस स्कीम इज दिस विल प्रोवाइड freedom to the beneficiary as they will not be tied to any one PDS shop and reduce their dependence to one shop owners and curtail instances of corruption को भी ये खत्म करेगा. नेक्स्ट राष्ट्रीय वायुश्री योजना. राष्ट्रीय वायुश्री योजना, दिस इज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एम्पावरमेंट. रिमेंबर द नेम ऑफ द मिनिस्ट्री इज इंपॉर्टेंट. राष्ट्रीय वायुश्री योजना, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट has introduced a scheme of providing physical aid and assisted living device for senior citizens belong to the BPL family under Rashtriya Vayushri Yojana. So what is the objective of this scheme? Those BPL family have old person who have not able to live their normal life because of some physical problem. That physical problem will solved by the government now. Okay, so this is only about the belonging to BPL category. Okay, remember BPL category and suffering from age related disabilities, infirmities like physical aid and assisting living devices which can restore normalcy in their body function. तो क्या क्या गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करेगी इन लोगों को? बेसिकली नॉर्मेलिटी लाने के लिए वॉकिंग स्टिक्स, एल्बो क्रचेज, ठीक है, ट्राइपॉड्स, हियरिंग एड्स, व्हील चेयर्स, आर्टिफिशियल डेंचर्स, स्पेक्टिकल्स and providing cost beneficiary to senior citizens. So as per this scheme, for the senior citizen age more than 80 years, जिसका एज 80 years से ज्यादा है, उनको क्या करेगी गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करेगी, उनके घर ले जाके वो सारे इक्विपमेंट्स को प्रोवाइड कराएगी. So one important point regarding this scheme is as far as possible 30% beneficiary in each district shall be women. विमेन होनी चाहिए इसमें, ठीक है. तो दिस इज स्टेटमेंट अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस टू स्टेटमेंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. सो वायुश्री योजना में आप 2 पॉइंट याद रखना कि फॉर सीनियर सिटीजन 80 इयर्स एज जिसके ऊपर है, उसका मतलब है कि उनको गवर्नमेंट उनके घर ले जाकर इक्विपमेंट्स प्रोवाइड करेगी एंड 30% ऑफ द बेनिफिशियरी इन ईच डिस्ट्रिक्ट शैल बी विमेन. Punch mission, one mission is launched by NASA and India. Basically the mission is about to study the sun's corona, outer corona and heliosphere. So what is the heliosphere? Basically, you know, this is the sun, earth. Now we know the radiation which is coming from the sun in the form is called solar wind, and we have a magnetosphere. Now this solar radiation is not able to reach in the atmosphere of earth because of presence of magnetosphere. This magnetosphere reflect this radiation in other space. When they reflect this radiation to in other space, means other part of the space, that region is called a heliosphere. This region is called a heliosphere. The basic idea of the Punch mission to study the sun's outer corona, okay, and the heliosphere, and what is the impact of this sun's radiation in international is in the interplanetary space. It will consist of 4 constellation, 4 micro satellite will be there, 4 macro satellite that will study the sun, corona and heliosphere. The mission will be launched in 2022. Now Swadesh Darshan scheme, what is this scheme? The name itself suggests that the promote rural tourism in the country. It is rural circuit. So rural circuit बनाना और इसको implement करना. Tourism force multiplier utilizing the rural economy को ज़्यादा से बढ़ाना, and tourism ministry launched this scheme. Remember this point. Objective to develop theme based tourist circuit in the country. This tourist circuit will be develop on the principle of high tourist value, competitiveness and sustainability in the integrated manner. So feature of the Swadesh Darshan scheme is a 100% centrally funded scheme for the project component undertaken for the public funding. Now you know what is corporate social responsibility initiative, CSR initiative. Basically, if company A is earning 500 crore in 1 year, this is the net worth, net gain, or we can say net profit of the company. So this this is a net gain. 2% of this net gain should be goes towards the welfare. ओके कोई भी कंपनी है उसका अगर जो भी साल का प्रॉफिट होता है उसका 2% जो भी है, जो नेट प्रॉफिट होता है, सैलरी सारा कुछ देकर, डिप्रिसिएशन सारा कुछ देकर, मशीन का खर्चा वर्चा सारा निकाल कर, उसका जो भी प्रॉफिट होता है उसका 2% मस्ट बी गो टू द वेलफेयर. दैट इज कॉल्ड कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इनिशिएटिव ऑफ द सेंट्रल पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग एंड कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर्स. तो उसके हिसाब से इसका फंडिंग होगा. ओके, so national steering committee will be conduct ministry in charge, ministry of tourism chairman to steer the objective of the vision of this scheme. Agri business incubation center, ये क्या है? Basically agri business incubation center has been set up by the Union Agriculture Ministry in Indira Gandhi Agriculture University रायपुर. ये क्या है? इसके अंदर काम करेगा. नेशनल एग्रीकल्चर डेवलपमेंट स्कीम रफ्तार के अंदर ये काम करेगा इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर. ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस स्कीम इज टू मेक फार्मिंग अ रिम्यूनरेटिव इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी बाय स्ट्रेंथनिंग द फार्मर्स एफर्ट, रिस्क मिटिगेशन एंड प्रोमोटिंग एग्री बिजनेस एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. सो बेसिकली टू प्रमोट एग्री बिजनेस means more farmers will able to sell more crops and products in market. Basically they will link with the digital market and that will help to access the resources from one part of the country to another part. The center will focus on innovation, skill building and entrepreneurship development in agriculture and allied sectors. Okay, it will act as a catalyst for developing ecosystem conditions for growth of agripreneurship and state and startup culture. Next, National Digital Health Blueprint Report. Basically it is a National Digital Health Blueprint Report. यूनियन हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री इसको रिलीज किए हैं. ये क्या बताता है? अबाउट दी हेल्थ कवरेज ऑफ आवर कंट्री. It provides affordable health coverage through wide range of data and infrastructure services using open digital systems that will ensure security and privacy of personal information. So it will work under National Digital Health Mission Plan to manage enormous amount of health data generated by Ayushman Bharat. Remember the name of this scheme, Ayushman Bharat. The vision of this is wide range of data, information and infrastructure service duly leveraging open to the operable. Now one award given to Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Award. This I told you that in newspaper you avoid to read awards, but such type of award is important for prelims point of view. So Srishti, our organization celebrate creativity, innovation, achieve this award called Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Award. क्योंकि एक बार क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया था गांधी पीस प्राइज पे, who the winner of Gandhi Peace Prize in 2017. Now occupational safety bill, safety health and working condition bill 2019. This is again important for mains examination. This bill is again important for mains examination. To study this bill in a proper manner, if in this year mains examination में अगर ये क्वेश्चन नहीं आता, next year prepare with this one question from this topic. Union Cabinet has approved the introduction of Code on Occupational Safety, Health and Working Condition Bill 2019 in the Parliament. Okay, what is the objective of this? This proposed would enhance the coverage of the safety, health, working condition provision manifold as compared to the present scenario. Thirteenth Central Labor Law will be included under this new code. The code enhances the ambit the provision of safety, health, welfare and working condition. Basically क्या होता है कि जो लोग काम करते हैं उनका हेल्थ सेफ्टी के ऊपर क्या कॉर्पोरेट रूल वो क्या इनिशिएटिव ले रही है उसके ऊपर कि वेदर दे आर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ देयर सेफ्टी, हेल्थ एंड वेलफेयर और वर्किंग कंडीशन और नॉट, वेदर दे आर वर्क इन अ प्रॉपर कंडीशन, प्रॉपर एनवायरमेंट और नॉट. सो दिस बिल, इफ दिस बिल विल बी पास्ड इन पार्लियामेंट, देन इट विल बी means implement in each and every industries where more than 10 employees are working. So establish having more 10 or more than 10 employees जहां पर भी होंगे वहां पर स्कीम का जितने भी जो रूल रेगुलेशन दैट विल बी इम्प्लीमेंट. So any business entity with 10 or more worker will mandatorily will be required to issue appointment letter and also get medical checkup done annually for all its worker. Means if you appoint any new recruit होता है, किसी को नए को आप appointment देते हैं, should provide appointment letter and health checkup, medical checkup of all worker every year. This is the provision of this bill. So if this bill will be implemented by any industry, they can follow these rules. Also, women can voluntarily opt for working in night shift. If this she doesn't want to work in night shift, then take leave. Okay, it has invested uniform threshold welfare provisions such as crèche, canteen, first and welfare officers. एक welfare officers होना चाहिए that will be taking the care of canteen, first aid, medical medicines whether available or not. A part of the penalty for contravention provision leading to death or serious bodily injury or to any person may be given to the victim, the legal heirs of the victim of the by the court. Okay. Now one more important concept here about zero budget natural farming. Now this is the important for both prelims plus mains exam. Why this prelims and mains exam is this scheme is important? Zero budget natural farming basically means it is a type of farming method where a farmer uses a zero money. Means you have to not purchase anything from the market. Whatever the resources available, like farmers are using a high yielding variety of seeds. Okay, they are purchasing from the market. The cost of these seeds are very high. They are purchasing chemical fertilizer from the market. The cost of chemical fertilizer is very high. So instead of purchasing from the market, farmer can use their own resources, like due to the presence of cow dung and that all help in the creation of organic manures. So benefit of zero budget farming. See, I think some disturbance is here about the points you download from the PDF file. I don't know why this showing such type of letters. You download PDF file of this current affair from aspiration.ai. Okay, that where you will able to see a PDF. This is basically I opened this PDF file in Paint because I am using this digital pen here. Okay, so it aims to ensure that farming, particularly smallholder farming, is economically viable by enhancing farm biodiversity and ecosystem services. Now the four wheel of zero budget natural farming is Jivamrita, Bijamitra, mulching and Vapsa. Jivamrita is basically a mixture of cow dung and urine decibrates that is used for it will be used as a fertilizer. It will be used as a fertilizer in field because this is organic in nature. So what will have benefit? Fertility of this soil. Fertility of this soil will increase. Okay, and we are able to produce a crop that is not contaminated by any chemical substance. So basically the idea is to use a more organic manures that is help in production of more crops. Bijamitra basically means cow dung and urine water burned soils slimes that is used in the seed treatment. Mulching is a method. What is mulching? Mulching is a method layer. Mulching is a layer of dried straw and fallen leaves. Basically क्या होता है ना कि जब after the harvest the soil no crop plant is there, so what the farmers are doing, they are keeping some straws like some plants leaves over the soil, so that help in protect soil moisture. So see here, to conserve soil moisture and keep the temperature around the root at 25 to 32 degrees Celsius, which allow the microorganisms to do their job. Basically some microorganisms present in the soil like a nitrogen fixation process में help करते हैं. So such microorganisms will able to do their activity. Vapasa is basically required moisture air balance. Also achieve the same objective. Maintain the moisture air balance. जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं black soil को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? Self ploughing कहते हैं. Why self ploughing? Because black soil is a type of soil which always during the dry time it become a crack will be developed, and during wet season it will be more stuck. So that's why it is called a required moisture air balance. One Diksharam is one initiative by the government for this is the research. This is the initiative Union Minister of Human Resource Development. Diksharam. What is the Diksharam? Basically, objective is to help student induction. It is one type of student induction program. Suppose you are some student are taking admission new in institutions. So first thing they will do, they make means ideas to make them feel comfortable in the new environment, inculcate them ethos and culture of the institutions, help them build bonds with the other student and faculty members, expose them to sense of large purpose and self exploration. Basically, they have to make a environment more friendly to them. They are able to study in a proper manner because they will able to develop a contact relation with the faculty, with the students, and they understand the culture of the institutions. So that will help them to gain knowledge in a short period of time. Feature student induction program engage with new student as soon as they come into the institution before regular classes start. So class start होने से पहले उनका induction program होता है. Another one mission is called Sagar Maitri mission. Basically, this mission is about to observe Indian Oceans को observe करना and Arabian Sea को. Basically, what type of observation? Weather related. To study the impact of cyclone. ठीक है, cyclone को देखना कि whether cyclone is formation of Arabian Sea or not. Study the phenomena of monsoon because monsoon is more complicated. So study of monsoon के लिए है. So Sagar Maitri Initiative Defense DRDO is the implementing agency. Remember, DRDO is the implementing agency. It aligns with the PM Narendra Modi policy declares safety and growth of all in the region. Sagar scheme. So Maitri basically it is a specific scientific component of DRDO. So what is the prime objective of Sagar Maitri mission? Data collection from the entire North Indian Oceans, focusing on the Andaman Sea and adjoining seas, establishing the long-term collaboration with 8 Indian Ocean regions, field ocean rim Indian. What is Indian Ocean rim nations? Basically, these are the nations which making border with the Indian Oceans like Oman, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia and Myanmar. Significance क्या हो जाएगा इसका? Significance basically is the mission is a part of historic international Indian Ocean expedition which took place in 1962-65. Another scheme is Paramarsh. It was again initiative of Union Ministry of Human Resource Development. What is this scheme is mentoring the National Accreditation and Assessment Council to promote quality assurance in higher education. Basically to promote higher education को quality को promote करने के लिए. So University of Grant Commission is means launching this scheme to make a hub and spoke model. Basically it become a one, suppose this is the IIT become the hub, and whatever the institution that is related with the this IIT, that is become, this institution is called a spoke. Hub and spoke. Under its mentor institution called the hub is centralized and will have the responsibility of guiding the mentee institution through the secondary branches, the spoke, through the services provided to mentee to self-improvement. This allows the centralized control over the operational efficiency, resources utilization to attain overall development in the mentee institutions. So this is all about the today's current affair, that is a prelims oriented. You will download this current affair from the expression.ai and read all 20 pages clearly. Whatever I had told you, these are the some important points. You have to note down this point, which you have to see कि this scheme is work under which ministry. Okay, and I will give you such only 20 pages, 10 to 20 pages current affair, that will not as much burden for you. You just download it, and if you want to take out printout, then it will be very good. If you take out print लेकर hard copy, you're reading hard copy, then it's again very good. And try to write something extra if you want to know from the Google or you from the internet. So for example, this is the Paramarsh scheme. If you know, this is initiative HRD ministry. इसके बारे में अगर कुछ एक्स्ट्रा आपको नॉलेज आती है तब उसी जगह पर हार्ड कॉपी में आप लिख लो इसको. So any doubt from the online students? If PDF is not there, then it will be very soon uploaded by our, I will ask to our center to upload PDF as soon as possible for your means most of the students will be able to download from expression.ai. Okay, any doubt regarding this current affair class? Okay, thank you to all.